A lot of you men be gay. A lot of you men be gay, bro. It's like we don't even have to worry about if we getting cheated on with another girl. Like now we scared to look through your phone and you talking to another man. A lot of these industry men, they all gay or have had gay experiences. These hood men be gay too. They be mad gay rumors floating around the hood. Oh my gosh. It's a lot going on.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Miss Kafue. So in this video, we are asking, why are so many men on the DL? I mean, why are so many men gay nowadays? In this video, you'll get all the answers you need. First of all, you'll get to hear women sharing their experiences, how they found out their partners were gay or on the DL. I mean, ladies, can you imagine, of all the problems we are facing with these men, we also have to deal with the fact that they are gay? Like, not me. Of all the problems I have in my life, I'm not sitting here wondering whether you're straight or not. Like, it's crazy out here. So ladies, I don't want to waste your time. So let's jump right into the video and then I'll be back to give my take on this.
A lot of you men be gay. A lot of you men.
Hey, hi, hello. I wanted to take my time with this one. My credentials are I myself am a queer person and am a product of a gay father and a straight mother who were married for X amount of years before my dad came out and they divorced and still have like a good relationship. I'm going to start by saying I actually don't disagree with the synopsis of the video. A lot of men are gay. A lot of men are gay. I actually had more issues with her follow-up video, but we'll get there. Circling back to this one, yes, a lot of men are gay. And I don't know about y'all, but I want more men to feel comfortable being gay or whatever their sexuality is. I don't want you to feel like you have to be shamed into hiding it. I don't want you to have to live a life where you don't get to be authentic to who you actually are and love the people you love and be with the people you want to be with. Because being a gay or queer man does not make you any less of a man, and certainly not any less of a human, regardless of what any religion or institution might have you think. I recognize that being a closeted man does not inherently make you some evil sexual deviant, because anybody can cheat on you and engage in unsafe sexual practices. But my real issue is the conflation of having gay experiences or being a bi man, which she talked about in her later video, as being gay. Because you can have gay experiences or be a bisexual or pansexual man and still really love women. Being queer doesn't make you inherently less masculine, just like being a straight man doesn't mean that you can't be feminine. And yes, everybody gets to have preferences about who they do and don't want to date. It makes sense to be a woman who doesn't want to date men who only actually want to date men. But if you have decided that you are not attracted to men who are also attracted to men, not only attracted to men, then yes, that is misogynistic and a little homophobic. But like, do you, babes? Me personally, I love bi men. They will always have a safe space here. And so does everybody else. Okay, great talk.
So I believe I've not posted a video before, but here we go. So there are so many things that this woman says that I disagree with. First of all, I agree with the fact that men should just be allowed to be gay. Like, yes, like the world now allows it. No one is telling men they're not supposed to be gay. But okay, we have some parts of the world like Africa whereby you can just do some shit, you know? You might even get cast. But people are gay even here in Kenya. Like the problem this woman doesn't get is that the main problem we have with this thing of gayism or being on the DL is stringing an innocent woman along. Like me, my thing is just live in your truth. You don't have to string an innocent woman to your shenanigans, you know? Just do you. Like if you love men, go be with your men, you know? Just leave us women alone. Why do you have to use a woman as a cover-up? And she says that if you're attracted to men who only love women, that's misogynistic. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that word well. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, most of us women wouldn't love a man who loves men, who loves other men, even if he's bi. Like we don't want to deal with any of that shit. Like most of us women tend to trust in the masculinity of our men. So you can't just start imagining that your man is the one who's receiving it. Like, oh my god, like that changes the whole thing, you know? There's some things you have to think about. And this is also, especially if this is a man you're raising kids with. Would you want such a man to raise your kids? So my thing is, live in your truth. Don't string an innocent woman along, claiming that you love women and yet you don't. You're just using her as a cover-up. And most of these men are the ones who juggle women. They pretend to be good with women. But it's just a cover-up. It's just a game. It's just a game. For the ones who know them, they know that they are gay. They can't fool them, you know. At the end of the day, you can't fool everyone forever. And there's nothing as bad as not living in your purpose or living in who you are. Just live in who you are. Stop stringing innocent women along. And then this woman says she's attracted to bi men. Yeah, like, I'm not surprised, because if your dad was bi or gay, you tend to be attracted. Most of us women tend to be attracted to the man our dad was, you know. You tend to attract such men, you know. So I didn't get surprised with that. So anyway, ladies, I had to comment on this. So let's go on with the video.
Get ready with me while I talk about how I found out my ex-husband was gay. Okay, so in 2019, I was about to go on a trip for work. I was married still, and I was like, at this point, like, knew I needed to come up with like an escape plan. So I was working on that. I was trying to build a career so I'd have money to leave, and like that way I could have something to fall back on, because I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. I was just starting to build my career and I had to go out of town. He was like the kind of dad that like you would never really do anything with the kids. He would just be there. And so I was going to be gone for 5 days, and so I tried to plan for my mom to be able to watch the kids, and it's like I had to like come up with a reason of why my mom needed to watch them. He didn't really want to watch them anyways. He wasn't really a good hands-on dad anyways. He didn't really help, so he was all about the break. There was like 2 nights that they were going to be at home, and he was going to be watching them. So my mom was going to mostly be watching them. They were just going to have to sleep there because they had school the next day. So she would get them after school, and then she would go and like until they were to bed. I just didn't feel safe with him watching them. I know that's dad, that's their dad, but I just didn't trust him. He was just not right. And so I bought recording devices and video devices to record everything, so in case something happened. I was still pretty new to like standing up for myself and like realizing that something was really wrong, but I just knew something was off. So I hid recording devices everywhere, and when I got back from the trip, I actually ended up leaving early to come back because my kids were calling me crying that they wanted me to come back. I came back a day early from my trip. My kids were just really upset. They just really wanted me home. I talked to them. My daughter was 8 at the time. My son was 5, just to kind of see if anything had happened, because like at this point I was still pretty new to realizing like what narcissistic abuse was and like how awful he actually was. And so they didn't seem like anything like concerning really happened. So just that they were really happy that I was home and really didn't want to be alone with him. If you've ever been with an abusive or narcissistic person, you know that once you start catching on to them, that's when they become their best. So it really confuses you, and then you start to think you're crazy. So I didn't even listen to any of the recordings, like nothing. I just was like, okay, well, nothing happened. Like I was just being paranoid, even though like my kids obviously didn't want to be alone with him, and I just should have listened to my gut. But anyways, I ended up a couple months or weeks later, I can't remember the exact timeline because everything is such a blur, but we ended up getting in a really bad fight, and that was when I was just like, I'm done, like get out, like leave, you're out of here. He went and stayed with his best friend, right? And I was like, okay, bye. Oh, I forgot to tell about this part. So my kids were only with him at home for the last few days of my trip, the last 2 days of my trip, which I ended up coming home early anyways. I had found out that my mom told me when she went and dropped the kids there that his best friend was there, and I was like, that's odd. And so I had like asked him about it. He had, okay, when his wife was out of town, he didn't have to watch his kids. He had his best friend come stay at the house with him the whole time I was gone. Fucking weird, right? Same friend that he went to go stay with when we split up. So then I remembered after he moved out that I had those tapes that I never listened to, so I thought I'm gonna take a listen. For legal purposes, I can't share a lot of the things I found out, and there's actually still quite a bit of tape that I haven't listened to, and honestly at this point I probably never will, but you know, always have it just in case I need it. Found out about his whole little 5-year plan that he had to leave me with nothing and take the kids and all this really fun stuff that how did that work out for you, buddy? How did that work out? But I will say there was quite a few recordings that I had found that talked about Preparation H and booty house hurting. You tell me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. By the way, this is lip stain. It's coming off. But more backstory. This is also the same friend that he invited on Valentine's Day dinners with us, that came on our family vacations with us. Same friend that he moved in with when we split up right away and was living there instead of seeing his kids and trying to make things work with his wife, which fine, worked out for the best. He also no longer talks to that friend anymore because they got into a fight and they broke up. So you tell me. I don't know. You think that's gay? I don't know. Have a good day. Bye.
Tell me, when did you suspect that your man was on the down low?
So about 2 years into our marriage, me and my ex-husband, we were not doing well. It was toxic. One day I needed to use a laptop, but mine was broken. A lot of times he would let me use his. He wasn't home on this specific day. I go to open his laptop and his email is open. I guess he must have forgotten, not realized, and just shut it down. But normally he would close his apps out. I go in the email and I see that there are these emails with a strange subject from Craigslist. Something I had to read and open because I was like, oh no, who is he sending messages to? I click on it and it is messages where he's responding back and forth to a man from Craigslist that my ex had reached out to. This man is openly gay, and the man was asking my ex-husband, have you ever been with a man before? Have you ever tried these things before? My ex responds back with, no, but I've always been curious about it.
Six reasons I had to suspect my narcissistic ex was secretly gay. When we first met, he told me he enjoyed hanging out with his buddies rather than his ex-wife. He told me if he were to ever blank one of his best guy friends, it would be so-and-so. He never had a nice thing to say about a woman, but would constantly talk up men that he admired. He was much more emotionally supportive to his best guy friend than he was to me during our relationship. He even went as far as to talk to our therapist about his best friend's breakup when he should have been talking about our own relationship issues. And every single time this best guy friend broke up with his longtime girlfriend, he would find a way to fight with me so he could be roommates with him again. Last but not least, definitely not least, during one of these breakups, he told me about a story that they woke up in the same bed together after a night of heavy drinking. He was almost giddy when he was telling this story, and it was very awkward and uncomfortable. He was also very openly homophobic. This is a bonus one I'm adding in, which seems to be a trend with secretly gay men. Watch your man.
As someone who has worked with men throughout my entire life, I've been there when they have came out of the closet and they've confessed to their wives that they were down low the entire time. But what are the signs of a man who is down low? I've gotten that question quite a bit, so I'll give you guys a couple signs from seeing it myself firsthand in my experience of working with men who were down low and seeing their behaviors and patterns. Being down low is not a good thing because you're lying to not just yourself but to others as well. You're not being authentic and you're sharing a life with a woman who thinks you're straight when in reality you're doing other shit with other men and you're fooling her. That ain't cool. So one of the main signs of a man who is DL is an over-exaggerated sense of masculinity. Overly exaggerated macho. This dude who's hyper masculine. He does never want to even seem feminine ever. That's one of the biggest signs of a man who is DL. A motherfucker who's always feeling like he has to compete with other men and show his aggressiveness, his strength, to show them how much of a man he is. That motherfucker right there might be down low, very likely. Always feeling like he has to prove himself to other men because he is trying to cover up for something. Overcompensation is another big one. Have you ever noticed somebody who's too damn loud when it comes to being attracted to the opposite gender? It's like they're trying to mold into a particular way of being to make you think how much attracted they are to the opposite gender. Again, trying hella hard to go out of their way to prove how manly they are. A man that is truly secure within himself does not have to go out of his way to prove to others that he is secure within himself as a man. Another very likely sign is if they're not too active when it comes to affection and intimacy with you. And that is probably because they're doing it with somebody else, and it could be because they don't like you since you're a woman. That's what's gonna happen if he's down low. If he's down low, he ain't gonna want to do shit with you because he's doing it with other dudes. So if your man is not affectionate to you and does not get intimate with you, that is a huge red flag, especially if he doesn't bring it up and talk about the issue as to why he's not intimate with you. Why would he not want to do it with you as a woman? Think about it. And one of the biggest signs of a man who is DL is they always are constantly joking around with the gay jokes around other straight men. But with actual gay men, they don't do it at all. They don't joke around like that with gay men the same way that they do with straight men. And that's because it's a cover-up. Of course, they're not going to joke around like that with the gay men, because then everyone's going to start to think they're actually gay. And that's going to blow their entire cover of being down low. And that's something that they can't afford to do because they have to keep it hidden. Think about it.
Okay, get ready with me while I tell you how to know if your boyfriend is DL, because a lot of y'all's boyfriends are DL. Okay, one is if he really prefers to hang out with his homeboys than to hang out with you. Like, it seems like his homeboys are always a priority and you're always number two. And I'm not saying that like it's like that sometimes, no, like when it's always like that, like he always has to bring a homeboy somewhere. Number two is if they're around gay guys and like they feel uncomfortable and they tell you like, oh my god, like I just felt so uncomfortable, like I couldn't even be around him, like I was irritated. Like, no, you were irritated because you liked it because you're gay. He's always talking shit about women, and I'm not saying like making a little comment here and there, no, when he's always saying something about like the way women dress, how they act, yada yada yada. Like, he's mad because some women are living his dream. They're with men and he wants to be with a man. So yeah, that's another telltale sign. Another one that kind of goes in with the thing I just said, I feel very passionate about women's bodies or what women should do with their body or women's topics. That's a sign of homosexuality, because you shouldn't feel passionate about that because you're not a woman. So where's the passion coming? Huh? A sign is if he makes you go half on the first date or he asks you to pay. He's gay, he likes men, he wants to be with his homeboy. So yeah.
I found out my husband of 5 years is secretly gay. Story time. He's a construction worker, the kind of guy who loves sports, beers, and fixing things around the house. To anyone who knows him, he's the epitome of man's man. We've been married for 5 years and I thought I knew everything about him, but now I realized how much I didn't know. It all started when I noticed some changes in his behavior. He was staying out late and more often, claiming he had to work extra hours on a new project. He seemed distant, always glued to his phone. I chalked it up to stress and tried to be supportive, but my gut told me something was off. Last week, curiosity got the better of me. While he was in the shower, I went through his phone. I found messages that made my heart sink. Texts and photos with other men, along with mentions of visiting gay bars. My world came crashing down as I read through his secret life, realizing he had been cheating on me. I confronted him that night. He tried to deny it at first, but the evidence was undeniable. Eventually, he broke down and confessed. He told me he was gay and had been struggling with this identity for years. Marrying me was an attempt to live the normal life expected of him, but he couldn't continue living a lie. The pain of betrayal was excruciating, but in his tears and apologies, I saw a man who was also suffering. He had built a facade to fit in a world that wouldn't accept his truth, and now that facade had crumbled. We've decided to separate, but the road ahead is uncertain. Part of me is angry and hurt, but another part of me feels a strange sense of compassion. I can't fully understand his struggle, but I know he never meant to hurt me. He's still the man I loved, just not the person I thought he was. I wanted to share my story here because I feel so lost and alone. I'm hoping to find some support and maybe connect with others who have been through something similar. How do you move on from something like this? How do you cope with the betrayal and the loss of a future you thought was certain? Guys, leave your comments in the comment section, and if you have a story to share, kindly send me a DM.
The number of men that are gay but won't admit it, maybe just because of their job or because of whatever people will say, and are trapping women into being in a relationship with them, it's just so alarming. So I have this friend of mine who was talking to a guy, and this guy just kept disturbing her. He recently became single, but she didn't know why. He was single, and only for her to give him the chance. A few weeks down the line, she discovered that the reason why the relationship got ended was because man was sleeping with another man. We have to be careful. Okay, I know we're single, I know we need to be in a relationship, but please, let's be careful. Men are like selfish in nature, right? So they will trap you into a relationship just so that they can use you as like a signpost for people to know, oh, he's a married man. Or some of them is actually because of their jobs. They want to lie and say, oh, my kids are my wife and my kids, my wife and my kids. Meanwhile, they'll be in serious competition with you because they want to be used so bad. Make sure you do your research before you hop into a relationship with a man, because they really don't care about how you feel in the whole situation. They're willing to use you for their own gain. It's just too much. It's too much. And I'm just so glad that she shared this story with me, because she had to break up with him, of course, because it's another thing if you're bisexual, and also if you're bisexual, you have to look for somebody that is down with you. You have to look for somebody that is also bisexual, so that you guys can live together and do your things together. But don't try to take a woman that is straight and then try to be sleeping around with men, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
What are the signs that he could be on the DL? A lot of guys probably are these days. So the best sign to look out for if he's on the DL, he dresses better than you. That's number one. He's really meticulous about his style and his looks. He doesn't care about you as a person. He just cares about you as an accessory. You know what I mean? They're not chasing you. When they're not chasing you, of course, when they always want to hang out with men more than they want to hang out with you. All right, when they're going on boys' trips a lot. When they want to hurry and introduce you to their family so that their family doesn't get a hint and a clue that they're gay. So yes, we're not being loyal to anyone who doesn't appreciate us anymore. That's over. That's done. That's something from the old days. That's no, I ain't doing it. I try to see from y'all perspectives a lot. So when I say I'm not doing it, I'm literally saying y'all shouldn't be doing it, because I'm already married. I'm already good. But like if I were out there with y'all, oh heck no, I ain't finna do that. Not this day and age.
Okay, now this part 2 of signs that your man might want a man. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Now this happened more. Now this some weird shit I'm about to tell y'all. It ain't funny. Please don't laugh. I know how stupid y'all is. Y'all so fucking stupid. Hold on. Okay, I had a homegirl one time, right? Now her dude was fine as hell. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? He one of the best looking dudes in the neighborhood. He was fine for real. He nice body, long ass dreads, gold in his mouth and all that. So one day she called me. Now people don't know me. Y'all don't know me, but my nickname for my family and my friend, they call me Pooh. And she always called me Poola. And she said, Poola, something ain't right. I said, what? She said, man, he came home. He had been gone, say he was DJing or something. He came home, and when he came home, he pulled his drawer down. He had shit stains in the front of his drawer. Oh, okay. Now, y'all ass ain't stupid now. You put 2 and 2 together. What in the hell is shit stains doing in the front of your damn drawer and you a man? Your drawer ain't, your ass ain't in the front. Number 2. He outrageous. He always itching back there. Every time he turn around, he scratching his ass. I know people be joking to my son, you need to bathe. No. Sometimes it don't be he need to bathe. Sometimes he ass so and toe up from some shit he done did. Y'all need to wake the fuck up for real and stop trying to make excuses for this shit. If your man always scratching their head, ain't that many goddamn, ain't that many fucking rashes, ain't that much scratching in the world now. Come on now, when you putting baby powder and shit all up in the crack of your head. What wrong with you? I know women chafe, but damn, I ain't know men start having rashes back there too. Number 3, he masturbate more than he wanna have sex. Every time you turn around, he beating it. He doing you know what I'm talking about. But then goddamn, when it come down to you and him, he ain't never really in the mood. Well, what the fuck is you in the mood for? What did you thinking about when you doing that stuff? What did you thinking about when you what the fuck is in your mind? You ain't looking at no porn. You ain't looking at no like, hey, you just okay. Come on now. Sometimes the sign be right there in our motherfucking face, and we ignore it. It's time to call this bullshit out. It's time to motherfucking call this shit out, because at the end of the day, come on now, ladies.
Part 2 about how I found out that my boyfriend was gay. Not only did I find out that he was gay, I found it out by seeing him with a teacher. Okay, so next part of the story. When I look out into the class and I see him kissing the teacher, I was in shock, y'all, because not only was it the teacher, it was the principal. And obviously, you know, me being me, I go, knock, knock, knock. And they both whiplash, turn their head around, look out the window, and they see me. Oh, God. Staring at them like this. Y'all, their jaws drop down into the Pacific Ocean where the Titanic is laying. Don't even play with me right now. And he runs out of the classroom saying, oh, you know, it's not what it looks like. We weren't doing anything. He had this, thing on his lip and I was just trying to get it off. And I was like, girl, do you think I'm dumb? How low do you think my IQ is? Goddamn, I know I'm feeling mess, but don't do me like that. Okay, so then obviously I'm like, you're fucking lying to my face. Like, stop. Tell me the truth. You know what he tells me? That he's been in a 2-year relationship with his teacher. And I'm just sick to my core. And then he goes, do you want like a poly? I think that's what they call it, relationship. Like, do you want to be a part of this? Sir, let me just stop you right there. That's gonna be a big, fat, fuck no. Bitch, get out my face. And then obviously I run off to go and tell someone. He's chasing me, da-na-na-na-na. I'm feeling like Subway Surfers in this bitch, like, you know, jumping on trains, hopping through hula hoops, like, girl, what you gonna do if you catch me? Wrestle me? I don't think so. So I finally get to, like, the cafeteria, right, and I find this teacher, I tell them everything, but then they go look for them, nowhere to be seen. Y'all, they both went, like, literally disappeared from out of this earth. Both went missing, looked them up a year later on Facebook. They are married in Portugal. But, yeah, that's how I found out my boyfriend was gay. Hope you all enjoyed this story time. Like and follow.
So if you don't know, my name is April. I have been with my husband now for going on 10 years. We've been married going on 3. He is HIV positive, and I am currently HIV negative. It's been a battle so far. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Finding out his sexuality, going through the stress and drama of all the extra stuff that he has going on the side, plus the HIV. I'm married to, I've known for 10 years. We got back together August the 4th, 2017. And we've been together since. And I promise y'all, he knew that he had HIV when me and him got back together. We didn't get married till January the 9th, 2018. A whole almost year later. Somebody I've known. Somebody who I thought cared about me. His mom knew his status. I'm pretty sure grandma did too. I've talked to Special Victims Unit, Fulton County detectives. You know what they've told me? I have a decision to make. Whether I want to love and care about this person, or do I really want to love and care about this person and see him behind bars and protect other people? You all have to understand to protect yourselves. It doesn't matter who it is. I have learned in the Black community, the Black gay community, bisexual community, I don't tell you guys my story and warn you or say these type of things to be mean, hurtful towards anybody. Lord knows I care about everybody. I'm here in the hospital. Been here for about 2 days now. Just wanted to make this really quick video to let y'all update y'all about my life. Super exciting, guys. Super exciting. Only thing I can say to anybody's out there that's listening, please be careful. Care about yourself. Love yourself. Don't love nobody else. Love yourself. Don't allow other people to hurt you. And whatever you do, stay away from the city of Atlanta. They are beyond walking amongst us. Not only just people with HIV, the crazies, the ones who murderers, serial killers, all of them. They are literally walking amongst us. Sadly to say. This is the most uncomfortable chair in the world, by the way. Sorry I look a mess, guys. Like I said, I haven't been home yet. Matter of fact, let's see. I got my 70-year-old dad out the hospital. I had to admit my husband. Told myself I need a job here because I'm going to be back and forth in the hospital. Might as well get paid for it, right? No. Say hi, Mr. McKinley. Hey.
Big dog, I can't be tiny.
That's nephew in the background. Mr. McKinley. Right.
Teacher, are you posting a YouTube video?
I am. Nephew knows that I post on YouTube all the time. So y'all get to meet him. He's a nice guy when he...
So this is going to be a taboo topic, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because I've been wanting to talk about this for like months now. When we hear men talk about their demons and the demons that they're fighting, I don't think a lot of women really stop to think about what those demons are. And I'm here to help shed some light on just a few of what I would consider to be the top demons that most men fight. Okay. Number one, top of the list, their sexuality. Most men, and I honestly believe it's over half of them, are fighting their sexuality. Many of them wish that they can just come out
out of the closet or whatever and just be themselves, but they feel like they're going to be judged by women. But I think they mostly care about the opinions of men. But it's also confusing because it's like, chances are your homie wants to S your D as well. So it's like, what's the problem? Now, don't get me wrong. I already know that a lot of men are already doing this behind their wives' back and their girlfriends' back, and they got kids and stuff. And that's why they spend so much time with Jeremy, right? Or Kyle or Randy, right? You know what I mean? We know, some of us know why y'all prefer to spend more time with your homies than your wife or your girlfriend, right? But it's weird because it's like, just come out. Like, it's 2024, no one cares. But they don't want to be seen as weak or conquered or whatever, right? Many of them just want to bend their friend over, or they want to be the one doing the bending, or you know what I mean? So they really do. And I'm not trying to make fun of them. I'm just saying that that's, in my opinion, the number one demon that most men fight is their sexuality. The second is their sexual attraction to children. Now, a lot of men will come out and tell you that if they were to lower the age of consent to like 10, many of them will be like, well, it's the law, right? But then you have a subset, another group of men who feel that way deep down, but they'll never admit it because they don't want to be seen as a pedophile, right? So they're fighting that. There are women right now, a lot of y'all are laid up with a man who literally goes into the bedroom or the bathroom and whacks off to your 13-year-old daughter, and you think it's about you, and it's not. He's looking at her. He's just caught her coming out the bathroom and she has boobs now, or she's growing into filling out, or whatever, as I used to say when I was growing up, and he's attracted to her and is fighting every urge in his body to not look at her like that. He's trying to look at her as a stepdaughter or as a daughter, because sometimes it's their actual blood daughter, right? He's fighting those urges. And when he's laid up with you, he's pretending that you are your 13, 16-year-old daughter. Let's be real. Okay? Another demon that a lot of these guys fight is not feeling like they're enough in society. So they have SI, so suicidal ideation. They're thinking about death all the time because they don't feel like they're good enough. They're not making enough money. They don't get the women that they want. They just don't feel good enough for whatever reason. So they're fighting those demons. And then another demon, I would say, that they're fighting is like the demon to be violent. Now, we know a lot of guys don't care about being violent. They're just violent anyways. But there are certain guys that hold back when really they just want to go burn some shit down, or they want to R women and children. Sometimes they want to R their homies, right? They might be attracted to one of their homies, and the other homie is not rainbow. So it's like, but they fantasize about it, right? They would love to do it. I think it's one of the reasons why they're so like obsessed with like violent video games and the games that, you know, have a lot of pew pews and running people over in their cars and running things over. They're just obsessed with destruction. You know what I mean? And they fight the urge to want to just beat somebody up, or to just, you know, go somewhere and just like pew pew up a building. There's a lot of men who have done that for real. They just go through with it, but many men fantasize about that. So those are just a few. A lot of guys have admitted this to me. Some of them come on social media and admit it. There's a lot of them that will never admit this. So understand, when a man is talking about, I'm fighting demons every day, just understand that it is one of those four, or it's all of the four. And there's other ones too, because I'm not in a man's mind, but those things I know for absolute certain, because I pay attention to people's actions. I pay attention to their words. I pay attention to the things that they say they will get away with. If they could get away with it, they would do it. I pay attention to all that. And to me, it's putting two and two together. It's reading between the lines for me. So be very aware of the demons that these men are fighting and move accordingly in your lives, because a lot of times the way these men treat you is not about you at all. It's about the demons that they're fighting on the inside. It has everything to do with them. Steer clear and be safe out there.
Do you agree that most men fight demons? Personally, I agree that most men are fighting demons, like serious demons. Let me tell you, ladies, you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful of these men that you're sleeping with, because most of them are just exchanging your good energy for their demons. Like, Once you sleep with them, you start being angry, you start being depressed, you start getting broke, you start being ugly. Like, you have to be very careful with who you allow into a sacred space, let me tell you. And this woman who says that she's currently HIV positive, let me tell you, I did a video back in February. And I think this is the same woman that said that her husband has infected her with HIV. No, I don't think she says she has been infected. I think she says that she said the same thing, that she was negative, but the husband had HIV. Now I'm wondering, if this is that husband, why is she still with this man? And this woman looks like she's very trauma bonded. Like, when you look at her eyes, like there's no life. Like, she's really going through it, and she's claiming here that this man loves her. This man does not love you. And why are you still with a man who is HIV positive while you're HIV negative? And when you began the relationship, that was not his status. So why are you still with this man even after finding out? Me, myself, I would have ran. Like, I wouldn't be at the scene. Like, trust me. Like, hey, I'm not playing about my health. I'm not playing about my life. Like, your health is your life, ladies. Take care of your health. And let me tell you, some things are uncurable. You'll have to take medicine for the rest of your life because you slept with the wrong man. It will live with you. It will even like affect your dating pool. Like, not many people want to sleep with infected people. Like, not many people get that once a HIV infected person is taking medicine, they cannot pass the disease. Like, not many people get that, and not many people are even willing to risk. Especially if someone has been careful with themselves, like with who they sleep with. Why will they want to be with a person who's careless with their bodies? Unless you got it from birth, that's a different story. But if you are just careless, if you just had this moment of weakness and he passed it to you, unless it was done to you innocently, like you didn't know that this man was up to no good and he passed on the disease, like that's another thing. But we are out here sleeping with the wrong men, sleeping with men who are gay. Let me tell you, live in your truth, man. Live in your truth. Like, you don't have to string us along to your business. Like, you've clearly shown us, even with other lenses, that you don't need women, you don't like women. Yes, we know you need us, but you don't like us, you don't want us. You know, it's a different thing from wanting and needing something. Man, like, most men are jealous of you. Most men cannot love us the correct way. Most men tend to feel emasculated just because you are independent, or they tend to weaponize your independence against you just because he knows you're a hard worker. He tends to make you pay all the bills. He tends to masculate you, and it's tiring. And on top of all these things, you come and find out that these men are gay. Can you tell me, like, what kind of nonsense is this? What kind of madness is this? There's no problem with being gay or whatever sexuality you are. But please don't string an innocent person along claiming that you're straight while you're not, claiming that you're something that you're not, Just tell your truth. Like, tell them, I'm bisexual. Are you comfortable with that? Okay, if you are, let's move on. If you're not. But most men are not, like, most men have not reached there. Most men cannot tell you the truth. Most men would rather play games. They'd rather lie to you. They'd rather heartbreak you. Like, they don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about wasting your time. These are the same men who will even have kids with you just to prove of how, like, straight they are. Like, they even have a wife and a family. Like, that confirms it. Some of them will even have families because of their jobs, so they can get certain benefits, And it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. Let me tell you, I was in one such relationship. I don't know whether I've shared this before, but I was in one such relationship where I didn't know this man was gay. Let me tell you, I didn't know. Like, when you see this man, he's the type of man that looks masculine. But something else I've come to learn. Some men look so masculine, but they are gay. They are gay. Like, there's some things let me tell you, I used to find messages. And I found a message when I was pregnant. Can you imagine? Can you imagine finding a message that this man is telling a man that he loves him so much? Like, what the hell is this? Like, what nonsense are we talking about here? Like, if you knew you were gay, why didn't you just tell me the truth months ago? I wouldn't be pregnant right now, That's what was going through in my head. And at that time, trust me, I had already found out some very fucked up shit about him, about his family. But I had chosen to just keep quiet and tell myself, like, that's not his fault. But when I found out that this man was gay, like, at that time, I thought, like, yeah. And another thing that I remembered, at the beginning of our relationship, this man used to invite men for sleepovers. as if they are friends. We didn't used to live together that time. So when I would go back home, this man used to invite friends for sleepovers. And these men that he used to invite used to look some kind of way, like these men used to look gay. Let me just be honest. And I believe we even had an argument about it. But of course, he always gaslit me. He always told me, "Oh, you're the type of woman who thinks I'm some homo, I'm some gay man. Huh? You're that type of a woman who looks down on me because you just think I'm a gay man." And it wasn't that I just think you're a gay man. It was that I've found some very suggestive things that tell me you're a gay man, And these men will gaslight you. Some of them will even unalive you. Some of them will kill you for exposing the truth. And my thing is that just live in your truth. I mean, in the next 100 years, 99% of us won't be here. So why not enjoy it now? Why not live in your truth? I mean, who are you trying to please? Who are you trying to please? Because it's definitely not me. It's definitely not me. Why are you living a lie? Just live in your truth. What do you want to prove? You're not that kind of a man. You're not a straight man. So stop forcing it. And it's crazy. It's crazy, ladies. It's crazy. Let me tell you. If you went through that phone, you'd be very surprised. And then these men that love their bodies, let me tell you, that man that I was with always loved to hang out with men. Like, to some point, it was like, at some point I was like, thank God he loves to hang out with men and do some men things. Like, at least he doesn't like to go to clubs and hang out with women. But I was wrong. Let me tell you, this man had a friend, right? And he still has the same friend. So whenever we would hang out with this friend gave like off vibes. Like, these friends, you know how you can feel someone doesn't like you? You know when someone doesn't like you, and you know when someone doesn't want you there. So that's the vibe I'd always get. And I mean always, every day, I'd always get with that man. Like, he was so off completely. And then this is the man that they're always with. Like, I think like for 15 hours in a day, he's always with that man. If he's not with that man, he's with maybe some woman. If he's not with that woman, he's probably with another woman or another man. Who knows? Like, God, these men are fucked up. Like, let me tell you, these are the kind of men you don't want to allow into your energy space. Like, these are the kind of men who will ruin it for you, who will contaminate your spirit. Let me just be honest. Like, we have to be very careful. And then the level of HIV in gay men is very high. Can you imagine, like, you're sleeping with such a man who doesn't even love himself? He sleeps with every man. Let me tell you, this man even had the audacity to sleep with a man that I schooled with. Yeah, like, I'm friends with this guy in school. Like, I don't mind him because he's just a classmate. He's gay. Like, why would I care? Like, he's not my man. Why would I care? And then here comes your man. Here comes your man in his DMs, man. Here comes your man every day. He lives in the house, goes to chill with this guy. At first, I thought that maybe I'm overthinking. Like, let me stop that. But when I saw the confirmations, oh my God. I mean, like I was upset because, like, why would you gaslight me all this time knowing that you're really gay? Like, why would you gaslight me into thinking that I'm the problem while you know that you are the problem? You have always been the problem, And that is very wrong. That is very wrong. Let me tell you, and these kind of men who portray such characteristics, these kind of men are always into some fucked up shit. Like, you'll find out the nastiest things about these men. Like, you don't want to even find out. You want to stay away from them because you'll never find out anything positive about them. Let me tell you, I've never found out anything positive about this man. Like, the things I'm told and the proof that I've seen for myself. Oh my God. Like, it's very sad. By the way, it's very concerning once you think that you spent like 5 years with a man who was gay. Like, you were just wasting your time. Like, this man doesn't even love women. This man was using you as a cover-up. This man wasn't there for the things that you thought he was there for. This man was using you as a prop, as a character in his story, just to prove to people that, hey, look, I can pull beautiful women. Look, I can even get them pregnant. I'm straight. He was trying to prove a certain narrative that's not there. And then this is the same man that you'll come and find a message on Facebook. I once found out a message on Facebook. Let me tell you, this message was not nice at all. This message was of a man, and I'm glad I never saw that message when I was supposed to see it. I was seeing this message like 5 years later on my spam inbox. And backtracking these days, this was a week after my son was born. Can you imagine? Thank God I didn't see it. Like, automatically I would have hit postpartum depression. And this man was busy doing such nonsense while I was busy recovering from a cesarean section. Like, once you think about such things, like, and here in Africa, we believe that it's a taboo for a man to be sleeping out, especially when he has a newborn. And then when he comes home, touches the newborn, such spirits may transfer to the newborn and it might actually kill the baby, you know? So that's when I think about it, I really confirm, like, these men don't be caring about us. These men don't like us. They don't. In fact, they wish the worst for you. Like me, I'm convinced that this man never liked me for a second. He never respected me. Like, he never saw me as a person. I don't think he ever saw me as a person, as an individual who has our own will, who has our own goals. Like, I don't think he ever saw me as any of that. Like, let's be honest, because how the hell will you do such things knowing the repercussions and knowing your partner is in her most vulnerable state and you're out here fucking men? You're out here, even if you're out here dealing with men behind my back. Like, come on. Like, and I was seeing this message after I left the situation after I've left the situation. And I was like, yeah, I was right. And I didn't hesitate. I sent the text to him and this man told me, I will gladly watch you die. Can you imagine? This is the level that they'll go to cover it up. And I'm not afraid to speak about this right now. I have to put my truth out here. Because someone cannot be torturing you mentally for like almost 7 years. They are out here living a lie, cheating on you, cheating on women, being nasty, being mean, being cunning, taking advantage of people, abusing people. I mean, like, at some point we have to get the truth out here because, like, we need to save people from you. We need to save people from you. Like, come on. Come on. I don't know about you ladies, but this really infuriated me. Hey. I won't say what the message said, but it was just a confirmation of this man is on the DL. Like, and don't go out there like exposing them, like especially confronting them. These people might even kill you. You saw the other video that I did. This man killed the wife because the wife threatened to tell everyone he was gay. He killed her. So be very careful. If you're exposing this man, just be in a situation whereby you're long done with this man. Like, you don't deal with this man anymore. Like, he's not a loss anymore. Like, you don't deal with him anymore. So ladies, anyway, I don't know whether you love this video, but myself, I loved and enjoyed this video. I know this video is such a sensitive topic, and this video is not meant to shame anyone or to like call out or to start a drama. No, this is just me speaking my truth and my experiences for other women to learn. And let me tell you, some of the signs that you know someone is like that, there are very many, especially when they love inserting their thumb back there. Like, that's one of the many red flags that you should watch out for. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm so wrong. But for me, once I was told that, like, I ran with it. Like, and then these men they're the men who love to hang out with their guys 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. Watch out. Watch out, you may actually be sharing the same dick with his friend. Like, that was my situation for a very long time. Like, please, watch out. Anyway, ladies, I'll see you on my next video. Bye.